Anna Marie, I can't thank you enough, not only for your kind introduction, but for your leadership today and every day. Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Grossman, CEO of ICIC, the Initiative for a Competitive Inner City. And I'd like to welcome you to ICIC's annual conference, attended this year by a record-breaking group of small business owners from across the United States and Canada. Despite the seemingly endless array of challenges small businesses confronted throughout 2022, staffing shortages, supply chain woes, inflationary pressures, and rising interest rates, we couldn't be prouder of the heroes whose creativity and boundless energy inspire us every single day. They're open for business because they make optimism a way of life. The small business owners we've been privileged to work with this year knew that new strategies were required to deal with the seismic shifts caused by the pandemic and global economic uncertainty, and they responded admirably. They stepped out of their comfort zones to innovate, adapt, build resilience, and pivot with impressive results. For almost 30 years, since Harvard Business School professor Dr. Michael Porter created ICIC in the aftermath of the 1992 LA uprising, ICIC has been a laboratory for experimentation, innovation, and new ideas that serve to strengthen small businesses and their economic vitality. Our extraordinary team of professionals, 52 strong, and it is my privilege to lead them now for almost 8 years, is dedicated to the fulfillment of ICIC's mission to drive inclusive economic prosperity in under-resourced communities through innovative research and programs to create jobs, income, and wealth for local residents. Our overarching vision, which gets us up every single morning of our lives, is to close the racial wealth gap and eliminate concentrated poverty. Too ambitious, you say? Not at ICIC, and not among our almost 7,000 alumni across the United States and Canada, as well as our visionary sponsors who make our thought and practice leadership possible. And we're deeply committed to achieving these transformative goals by upholding our values of being inclusive, path-breaking, continuously improving, collaborative and community building, transparent and accountable. At this year's annual conference, we're so proud to have a vast audience comprised of more than 1,000 small business owners, business and community leaders, practitioners, and educators from across North America. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank you all for joining us over the next several days. We know what it means to take time out from your businesses to grow, to learn, and to partner with others from across the United States and across Canada. Many of you are participants and alumni from our Inner City Capital Connections program. This year, the ICCC program was offered in 22 cohorts throughout the United States and Canada. We're so delighted to have you with us. And welcome to this year's class of Inner City 100 Award winners. They're the fastest growing businesses in under-resourced communities across the country, including many past awardees from throughout the program's illustrious 24-year history. And I'm so pleased to acknowledge participants from our inaugural Building for Growth Construction Cluster Initiative, comprised of 54 companies located in 19 states, 91% of which are BIPOC-owned, and more than 50% of which are woman-owned. And a warm ICIC welcome to participants and alumni from the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, as well as from its pioneering new Black in Business program, which supports Black women sole proprietors. And I'm also so pleased to see so many participants and alumni from Santander Bank's Cultivate Small Business program, serving entrepreneurs in the food industry from Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Miami, and Dallas. And we're also joined by many of our coaches and mentors from throughout the country who make the experience of participating in ICIC programs so meaningful and unique. I think you'll all agree that one-on-one coaching is the lifeblood of small business growth and development. And we're so proud to be able to offer coaching and so proud of our coaches and mentors who are with us today. And a special expression of appreciation to our nominators. They're the lifeblood of our programs. Let's take this moment to recognize and thank our nominating partners from across the country who have played an integral role in ensuring the success of our programs. We rely on them for strategic advice and to identify and nominate businesses poised for growth, which are in need of resources, including technical assistance, as well as coaching and capital. Most of you are here today because someone you know nominated you for one of our programs. And because they're people you trust, you decided to apply and participate. For a detailed list of our amazing network of nominating partners, please visit our 2022 Impact Report, which is being published today. We'll never be able to adequately thank our sponsors, corporations, financial institutions, foundations, family offices, impact investors, and visionary individuals, funders of our research, programs and initiatives, and of this annual conference. Without their unwavering commitment and support, our work would not be possible. Please join me in recognizing and thanking our sponsors of this year's annual conference. First, our principal sponsor, Chevron. For nearly 20 years, Chevron has invested in our conference and in the production and publication of our Inner City 100 list, which recognizes and celebrates the 100 fastest growing businesses in under-resourced communities across the United States. With Chevron's support, we developed the Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award, which we'll present on December 8th. The award recognizes one Inner City 100 winner for the tangible ways the company and its colleagues enhance and uplift the community and those who live there. From Chevron, I'd specifically like to mention and thank Dave Feldman, Supplier Diversity Manager, Terrence Baptiste, Supply Chain Advisor, Supplier Diversity, Steve Freeman, Chief Procurement Officer, and Christina Ferguson, Chevron's Supervising Counsel for Procurement and Supply Chain Management, who will be presenting the Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award on Thursday. We cannot thank you too much for your continued partnership and support over the years. Next, I'd like to recognize our visionary sponsors of the conference. And let's start with FedEx. FedEx underwrites our Inner City Capital Connection Memphis cohort in their hometown, and in 2022 expanded their support of the ICCC program by helping bring it back to Dallas. With FedEx, we also developed the Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award, which will be presented to an Inner City 100 winner on Thursday, who is the embodiment of FedEx's values and commitments to diversity, global trade, empowering entrepreneurs, and creating employment opportunities. I'd like to express a special thanks to Jana Hughes, Rose Flanorl, LaTanya Cooper, Joanne Lewis-Massey, April Steelman, and of course, our dear friend Sue Spence, FedEx's CPO, who will be presenting the Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award once again this year. And our heartiest thanks to our visionary sponsor, Edward Jones. Edward Jones is a St. Louis-based financial services firm, which has been our partner for well over 20 years. Most recently, its support of our ICCC programs returned to St. Louis this year. I want to thank colleagues at Edward Jones for being so supportive and expressing such vision and support of our work. Laura Ellenhorn, Terry Couch, Elizabeth Kane, and CEO Penny Pennington. And I'd like to thank our innovator sponsors, which this year include PNC Bank, Regions Bank, and Bain Capital. PNC Bank is one of our newest national sustaining partners. PNC has engaged with ICIC to support the ICCC program in Baltimore, as well as our inaugural Latinx ICCC program, delivered entirely in Spanish by culturally competent professors, coaches, and facilitators. Thanks so much to our partners and colleagues at PNC, Anusha Gibson, Brett Berry, Ray O'Connor, Ramsey Harris, Chris Rocky, David Serafini, Eugene Allen, and Gina Coleman. Regions Bank has been our esteemed partner since 2014. With Regions' support, we brought the ICCC program back to Houston this year, as well as to Indianapolis for the first time. Our partnership has continued to grow over the years to serve under-resourced entrepreneurs throughout the country. Special thanks to Leroy Abrahams, Hinton Taylor, Brett Schaefer, and Paula Bradley. And as well, thanks to scores of Regions bankers who serve as capital coaches in Indianapolis, Houston, Memphis, and St. Louis. And I'd like to express appreciation to Bain Capital and its partners who have supported ICIC's work since the very beginning. We're grateful that they're lending their unique expertise to this year's conference program and want to express particular gratitude to Victoria Budson, Emily James, Paul and Sandy Edgerly, Steve and Judy Paliuka, Saran Tesfalo, and Cecilia Chow. And thanks to our pioneer sponsors, which include Appleton Partners and their principal, Doug Chamberlain, Arcturus Impact Investors, Jonathan Tower and Uche Asuji, Boston Consulting Group, which has been there since day one, Rob Souza, Greg Papp, Molly Jacobson, and Walter Diaz. And thanks to Salesforce, Madison Gunter, and Lily Kwan. And finally, I'd like to thank partners Santander Bank, the sponsor of Cultivate Small Business, and funder of this year's ICCC program in New Jersey and in Philadelphia. Thanks to Tamika Favors, Graham Chapman, Maggie McDonough, and all those capital coaches who help small businesses everywhere get the debt and equity capital they need to grow and realize their full potential. And finally, thanks to Chris Coe, founder of ER2. Many of you will recall that Chris Coe was our electrifying keynote speaker at last year's annual conference. And please join me in thanking ICIC's national sustaining partners, Goldman Sachs, Kaiser Permanente, Bank of America, AmerisourceBergen and its foundation, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, one of our major research partners, Yum Brands and its two important subsidiaries with which we work closely in Canada, Pizza Hut Canada and KFC Canada, Target, General Motors, the Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation, another important research partner, Vizient, Cardinal Health, Blackstone Consulting, EY, and Rose International. And I'd like to express our collective appreciation to ICIC's Board of Directors for its stewardship throughout the year, and especially our board officers, Board Chair Ron Homer, ICIC Founder and Chair Emeritus, Dr. Michael Porter, Vice Chair and Treasurer Barry White, and our Board Secretary, Brenda McKenzie. The focus of this year's conference, and a phrase that you'll hear many times throughout the next several days, is open for business. Small business owners like you continue to demonstrate strength and innovation, endlessly adapting to meet everyday challenges to not only remain open for business, but to thrive as well. You're exemplary because you invest every day in your communities, your employees, your families, and yourselves. Our work at ICIC and through this annual conference focuses on providing entrepreneurs with access to the key drivers of small business growth: networking, education, recognition and visibility, enhanced access to capital, coaching and mentoring. This conference provides 2 days of invaluable content we're so excited to present, including key addresses by Administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration, Isabella Guzman, and ICIC alumna Barb Smith, President and owner of Journey Steel. We're also offering educational breakout sessions led by esteemed Harvard Business School professors Linda Applegate and Dobbin Bookman. as well as amazing breakout discussions on topics such as leading with passion and purpose, sustainability, procurement, and incorporating ESG strategies into your work. And if you've ever been here before, you know about our kinder, gentler Shark Tank style pitch competition, always a favorite of conference attendees. Don't miss the Business Growth Marketplace, through which you can learn about and request one-on-one meetings with ICIC's Small Business Program alumni and participants to build and grow new relationships. It's taking place tomorrow, Wednesday, December 7th, from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss out on your opportunity to connect with these folks by logging on to this conference platform. And finally, the presentation of our Inner City 100 Awards on Thursday, during which we will recognize and celebrate 100 companies that have overcome tremendous market challenges to grow. And now it's my privilege and pleasure to pass the mic to Chevron's Chief Procurement Officer, Steve Freeman, who will introduce our first keynote speaker. Take it away, Steve.